Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video I have a new foundation review. This is from a brand that I have personally never tried before, and I'm super excited to have gotten my hands on this foundation and bring you this video today. I'm talking about the new Christian Louboutin liquid foundation. It's called the Teint Fetiche foundation, and I have heard so much buzz around this foundation. I had to get my hands on it. Plus, when I told you guys I was back from vacation, this was the video that you guys requested most. So I am here to bring it to you. In today's video, I'm going to be applying it. I'm going to be doing a long wear test, and we'll see whether this foundation is going to be good for my dry skin. We're going to see what the coverage of the foundation is, etc. So if you're excited, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, and let's go ahead and get started. Let me start by getting my hair out of my face, and as you can see, I did already do some steps. I filled in my eyebrows just a bit. Everything I use on my face today will be linked down below in the description box. The foundation is linked down there if you guys are interested in it by the time we finish the video today. Anyways, so far I've used the Rare Beauty Brow Gel, the new Benefit Brow Detailer to fill in just a bit, and then I did my skincare. I finished up with Magic Cream, and as per usual when I review a new foundation, I try not to use any additional primers. I use Magic Cream as my primer because Magic Cream works for me, and that way I know what the foundation is doing versus if I add a primer underneath. I don't know if the primer did it or the foundation did it, so I like to just put my moisturizer on and then go in straight with the foundation. So let's talk about this new Christian Louboutin foundation. Let me go ahead and open it and show you the packaging. The packaging is beautiful. Take a look right here at the stunning, very fancy looking glass bottle, and then the cap is golden. The cap is a plastic cap, and it has a pump, of course. The inside of the cap is red, like red bottoms. And after much browsing on the Nordstrom website, I did get mine at Nordstrom. I ended up getting the shade 20C, which is called Cashmere Nude. This looks like a neutral, light-toned foundation, and I actually think that this color is going to be really good for my complexion. I feel like this is going to be a good match. We'll see. There are 25 shades total that you can choose from on the Nordstrom website, and it says that this is a matte liquid foundation that slips effortlessly on, a light veil that brings breathable, buildable, perfectly flawless comfort and high coverage. So it is a full coverage foundation, but the description of it is a bit interesting because it just said it's a matte liquid foundation with a full coverage. However, right underneath it says with up to 24 hours of comfortable, no transfer wear and a luminous matte finish. I hate when brands do that. Just let us know what the coverage is. I bet this is going to end up being just like a natural coverage foundation, because luminous matte finish, what does that mean? So it says an luminous matte finish. This liquid foundation unifies and illuminates with sublimating, breathable, high coverage. It minimizes the appearance of pores, smooths and softens the complexion, and it leaves the skin feeling moisturized. So we went from a matte liquid high coverage foundation to a hydrating luminous finish foundation. Again, confusion. The texture is long-lasting without drying, and it feels comfortable after application thanks to its immediate hydration. It is a vegan formula, and it is infused with Dermaglam Complex, concentrated of precious skin-loving ingredients that actively care for the skin. As per usual with most foundations, you get an ounce of foundation in here, and this one is made in Italy. I was reading the box for any additional information, and it says that it is infused with amethyst. I don't know what that does. Maybe it's just good vibes. Anyways, I can't wait to try this one, so let's just go ahead and start putting it on. Let's pump it out and see the consistency. Nice and creamy, not too liquidy. Again, the shade I have is 20C Cashmere Nude. And I think I'm going to do half with a sponge, half with a brush on the other side to see which type of application I like better. Usually I end up liking the sponge better, but we'll see. There has been exceptions in the past. I would say if we are shade twins, definitely get 20C because it looks like a good match. And if you don't like your foundation or makeup in general to have fragrance, I would steer away from this one because it smells pretty perfumey. It's not a strong perfumey scent, but I smell it for sure. So keep that in mind. With a sponge application, I don't think I would necessarily call this a full coverage. I would say it's medium coverage, and as I predicted with the confusing description, it has more of a natural finish rather than matte. We'll see if it dries down on me throughout the day or not, but right now it actually looks like a natural to luminous finish, not matte at all. It does have a beautiful, thin feeling, breathable formula, and it is sinking right into my skin. I'm going to grab some more and go on to the other side with a brush. This is a Refer foundation brush that is hopefully launching soon. And I'm just applying it all over with this brush. I can immediately tell you that you use a lot less product applying it with a brush because I used a lot more pumps on this side versus this one. Also, even when using less pumps on this side, I feel like it covered better on this side versus this side. This is more so a full coverage, and then with the sponge I got like a high medium coverage, and the brush didn't leave any streaks behind or anything like that. It blended out instantly. So I think for this one I might like a brush application better. I turned my lights away so that they're not hitting my face directly so I can show you guys up close. This is the sponge side. As you can see, very natural looking and a medium coverage because you can still see my freckles and whatnot. And this right here was the brush side, which I think has a bit more coverage than the sponge side, but it still looks very beautiful and very natural. Both sides I think have a natural finish to them, not matte, not too luminous either. And later on today I'll show you what it looks like outside in natural lighting as well. I'm going to do a little bit of my color corrector right underneath my eyes here and in the inner corner. And for concealer, since I'm feeling very fancy, I'm going to use my Gucci concealer. This one I have in shade 21N. I'm blending it in with the sponge. And I'm only going to set right underneath my eyes. I don't want to set my whole face. I don't want to set the foundation all over. I just want to see how it wears throughout the day without adding a ton of powder on top. So with a small pointed brush, I'm going to grab a bit of my Givenchy Prisme Libre powder, and I'm going to just press it right under the eye so that the concealer doesn't crease. Just tapping it right down here and a tiny bit right in the center of the forehead. So before I add any more bronzer or blush or anything like that, I'm going to step outside and show you what this looks like in natural lighting. So far in here, to me, it looks really, really good. I'm not sure which side I like better because I feel like, yes, I used less product on the brush side and it gave me more coverage, but I tend to prefer a more medium coverage. And so to me, the medium coverage side looks a little bit more natural. But honestly, I'm liking the way both sides look so far. I'm outside and I would say today we have really good natural lighting. So take a look right here at what things are looking like. Brush side versus sponge side over here. Honestly, I am really liking the way this foundation looks on both sides of my face. I feel like I do look poreless and things are looking very, very natural so far. And the match, I would say, was pretty perfect. So I'm impressed. I know you guys like it when I show you in natural lighting. So take a good look right there. And I'm going back inside to finish up the rest of the makeup. I'm back upstairs and I actually waited 30 minutes before doing this next clip and before applying my bronzer and all of that because I noticed that the foundation started to change. Remember how at the beginning it had a natural to luminous finish to it? Well, now that I've had it on for 30 minutes, remember I do have dry skin. Now that I've had it on for 30 minutes, it has more so a matte finish, I think. Natural to matte is not drying matte, but it is natural to matte. So the foundation changed a little bit. It went from a natural to luminous finish to a natural to matte finish in a matter of 30 minutes or so. It still looks very natural. I don't have any complaints about it yet, but I did want to wait because I noticed that it wasn't as luminous as it was at the beginning. So now that I've had it on for 30 minutes or so, it is looking a bit more matte than it did when I first applied it. And remember, I didn't even powder the foundation. I only set my under eyes. So the foundation did change just a tad bit. Anyways, to finish up my makeup, I am going to do a bit of bronzer. This one is from Charlotte Tilbury, and I'm using a Reference number 5 brush to apply it. I'm going for a very natural complexion today. For blush, I'm going to apply Sweetie from Say Beauty, which is one of their new shades. I tried this one the other day and I loved it. So I'm going to go for this one once again, and I'm blending it in with a clean side to my makeup sponge. Just patting it in place and slowly diffusing it. I think I want to do a natural but glowy type of eyeshadow look, so I'm going to use the Mighty Monster palette from Odin's Eye and Annette, and I'm going to use the shade CBTS on a fluffy brush. This one is my reference number 15, and with this fluffy brush I'm going to just back and forth work on the crease of my eye. With that same shade, I'm going to just intensify the outer V of the eye ever so slightly, and then I'm going to tap into Abyss just once and intensify things further on the outer V with the color Abyss, which is still a very natural looking neutral brown. I'm taking it right under the eye just a bit, and then with a flat brush I'm going to grab Glow Vortex here and add that color to the inner corner, bring it in, define my eyelid with it. And then with my finger in that same color, I'm just going to tap it all throughout the center of the eye. Just like so, and now we have a nice glowy, natural eyeshadow look. I'm finishing up the under eye with a bit more CBTS blended right underneath my lower lash line. Done with the eyeshadow palette, I'm going to use bronze from Laura Mercier in my waterline. Here's what things look like before I put on any mascara. And then here's what things are looking like once mascara is on. To finish things up, I'm just going to use my Natasha Denona Natasha lip liner, which looks tinier by the day. I'm filling things in a bit with it. And right in the center from Ravi Beauty, I'm going to use the shade Dahlia. And the makeup look is completed. I finished my foundation application at 12:30. So it's about to be an hour soon. I will check in with you later. So far, I've given you all of the updates. The foundation changed to a more natural to matte finish, but things are still looking good and I'm not looking or feeling dry. So we will see how it wears throughout the day. I'll talk to you guys in a couple of hours. It is 4:29, 4:30 now, so this is your 4-hour check-in. And the foundation is looking exactly the same as when I had it on for 30 minutes. So at the beginning it looked a bit more luminous, it then became a natural to matte finish, and ever since it has not budged, it has not changed. All of the coverage I had is still present. It still has that beautiful natural to matte finish to it. It hasn't broken apart. It looks really nice and natural on the face, and so far I am really liking it. So we shall see how it continues to wear throughout the day. None of my natural oils have come through, like on the forehead. I did set my forehead with a bit of powder, but even so, sometimes my forehead right here in the center can get a little bit oily. None of that has happened. The foundation is looking beautiful, just like it did when it was freshly applied. And so that is the 4-hour check-in right there. I will see you guys later to see how it wears throughout the rest of the evening. 10:12, and this is officially the last check-in for this Christian Louboutin foundation. I never know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way, so if I have butchered the name of this foundation throughout this whole video, my most sincere apologies. Anyways, so we've been wearing this foundation for 10 hours now because I started around 12:30. So like 20 minutes left till it's actually a 10-hour wear test. But here is where I'm leaving it. I'm missing a little foundation from my nose, but that is because my nose was watery earlier, so ignore that. I think this foundation has worn beautifully all throughout the day. even on my desert dry skin, even though it did become a bit more of a natural to matte finish foundation, it never got dry, it never separated. Is it looking as beautiful as it was this morning? Obviously not quite. It looks a bit more foundation-y now, but that's because I've been wearing it for almost 10 hours. My forehead never got oily. In fact, nothing around my face ever got oily, and it still looks beautiful and it still looks natural. I honestly don't really have anything to complain about when it comes to this foundation. Both sides look good still. The side that had a bit more coverage that I applied with the brush, and the more natural looking sponge side as well. So very impressed. I would give it like a 9.9 out of 10. And I'm only deducting the 0.1 because it did change a little bit at the beginning from glowy to matte. It did say it was a matte finish foundation, but I honestly prefer the glowy finish that it had at the very beginning of the application. With that said, I love the way it looks even 10 hours later, and it has worn beautifully all throughout the day. So if you are interested in this very pricey foundation, she is $77. If you are interested in trying it out, I would recommend that you do so. I have the link to it down below in the description box, and you are going to love it. I feel like this is going to work for all complexions because it worked for me and my very dry skin. So I imagine people with natural skin are going to absolutely love this one. If you have combination skin, I feel like you'll also really like it. And even oily skins, I feel like can be safe to try it because not even a little bit of glowiness came throughout the day. So I'm very impressed by the formula, how natural it looks, how breathable it is, and I would totally recommend it if you guys are interested. If you like today's video, don't forget to please give it a thumbs up. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for all of the new product reviews. I love you all so much. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in the next one. Bye.